Hi all, welcome to another Chess 24 Banter Blitz. So it's Sunday, 12:30 PM or thereabouts. And let's mute over here. And let's take the first challenge. I think it's been mentioned to try and mix challenges up a bit as well, by the way. But I just go with the first challenge. Well, in order of challenges. I was messing around a bit with the layout earlier, hoping the layout's okay. Let me just check. There's a bit of the nothing I can do about the bit at the top at the moment. Where's that? Seems to be a strange bit at the top. Just crept in, pardon me. Put it at the bottom instead. Oh well. I'm not sure this first challenge is on. We can have okay, let's go on to the next challenge. I think. Can you just say if the screen should be okay, right? But let's go on to the next challenge. Tricanti. I'm playing this as an experiment recently. I'm wondering. Good, I've got to move. I'm playing knight f1 to e3, I think. Right. And now what? Put some pressure like this. Actually, the double pawns, well, they've got G file. If he doubles the pawns, I might have this G file. Let me see if I can. Right. What about Bishop D2, Rook C1, and then knight? No, there's no knight to move over the queen side. Let me think. Maybe stop B5 for a moment. Does he want to double my pawns? Got to get my focus now on this game. Somehow it actually. Okay, let's put the queen there for a moment. Rook C1 and C4. Okay. Is he going to take ever? I can't castle in this scenario because he just plays bishop takes f3, and it'll be horrible. It looks pretty horrible. Bishop g6. If I take, I don't think he'd take with the f pawn. Would he? Right. Can I play h4, h5? Not really convinced by this, but anyway. And if I play this, Can I play for h5 with some sort of, I don't know, attack? Here's b5, maybe I can play a5. Do I need to keep the bishop? a5. And there's rook h4 as well to try and kick this guy. a5, b4 might be a pain. Okay, that's kind of helpful in some respect. I can play rook h4 and double the rooks now. I think I'm back in the game. I wasn't convinced before, but now I think I'm back in the game because of this tempo gainer. Maybe rook h4 first. Or hg. Probably first. I don't know actually. What is my threat anyway after the check? Is there a threat? Maybe there isn't. Damages his pawns. So what? I gotta somehow make this do something. So knight d2 could discourage b4 anyway. If I kick off with knight d2, just to discourage b4 for a moment. Alright, so knight e4 looks nice and central, protecting f2. Okay, this doubling rooks looks possibly of use. He might have been threatening something. Okay, f4, try and get a bind. As long as he hasn't got bishop g5 if I play rook f1. Has he got e5? Probably. Okay. I can play for ab potentially. With that pin. I thought he was going to use f8 with the rook. Right, he might have compromised c4 slightly. Can I play for rook a4? Right, rook a4 might be useful. He's going to have a tactic like bishop a3 at some point. Okay, let's hold this with the king. That gives me maybe knight d2 to work on. a5 is also under fire. So knight d2, is that handy or not? Try and win c4 here. I hope. I'm protecting f4, so I'm hoping this is going my way. If I take on d6, have I got rook b4? That'll be b3 and b7 then. I think it's going my way. These pawns on light squares are a bit more vulnerable than maybe my opponent would want. Now if I do this, or rook b4 first, I'm still holding a5. If bishop a5, okay, rook b7. No, actually there might be, yeah, well, rook b7 is a rook on the 7th, followed maybe by knight e5 at some point. Can I play knight takes e5 here? Does he do take like that? If I take like this, I don't see many checks. Right. Go around with this rook. Right. Let's try and weave mating that with c4. Okay, thanks for the game, Chicanti. Okay, Don Williams. Try French defence in reverse. It's not soft solid, I think. That's okay. Knight f1 to g3. Maybe bishop g5, queen d2, bishop h6 springs to mind. Queen c1 may be better. Or a4. Hang on. There's always bishop f3 though. If I play something like queen d2, it's got bishop f3. Yeah. So I might sort of tie down here. Probably at some point getting rid of the bishop might be handy. Okay, can I take her? This a6 pawn. What if I just bring the rook back for a moment? And a6 is maybe part of things here to try and target. But yeah, this queen d2, I don't like this bishop f3 much. Maybe it's plausible. What about queen e2 runs into e5, but let's see. Maybe I can take, I don't know about bishop a6. If he just weakens the b5 square, that's a concession. Can I not just take on a6? I wonder. I'll put the bishop out here to just cover that f4 square. Okay, I'm wondering. Queen b5. Alright, if I take that. Can I play c4 here? Where does the knight go? c4 seems plausible. I cannot just take and take on b4. Alright, seems very promising now. Maybe queen e7 coming out. There's rook e8. Give some air for my king. Do I kick this queen away? I mean, maybe. I mean, get rid of a few pieces. Doubling the pawns. I'm going to play for knight f6 to get onto the dark squares. Oh, there might be rook e7. Hold on a sec. Oh no. Don't tell me I've gone into a ridiculous pin because of rook e7. Because knight f6, bishop f6 protecting the rook. Yep. Okay, gone into a sort of self-pin. I'm hoping it's not the end of the world just yet. This one for knight g3, if f5. I'm going to drop pawn here. Okay. Alright, knight f6 looks good now. Oh, thanks, Don. Thanks. Don's beaten me twice before. I'm pretty scared to play him. I have been victimized by many of these opponents, I've got to say. So I feel fortunate to win any game. You guys are very dangerous potentially. I don't underestimate anyone here. Okay, I'm playing this ridiculous French defense in the last 2 weeks in reverse. And I've told my good friend Alex, has he ever tried the French defense in reverse? Because he could leverage all his opening knowledge. In fact, you could pick up a book on the French defense with black and play it with white, and your knowledge would count twice, right? Isn't that statistically interesting that no one plays e3 on the first move? I'm wondering why. Possibly because of the exchange French in reverse. But it's with an extra move, so is it that bad that you risk an exchange French? I'm just wondering, I've had some good results in the last couple of weeks. And because my focus is not to be like, generally my outlook is not to be an opening theoretician or bookworm, I've always really wanted to formulate, in particular, middle game strategies since like last 20 years, middle game strategies. And so having an opening for me, like 1e3, is a way of kind of saying I don't really want a theoretical debate. But I do know a little bit about the French defense because I picked up some ideas from, there was this classic book, Play the French by Watson, and he's also got extension books like Dangerous Weapons in the French. So I don't know, if you can play it as white, it might be an interesting experiment. I don't know, if anyone wants an interesting experiment with their openings, 1e3, I'm experimenting with it at the moment, and the results haven't been that bad. So if you don't want a massive theoretical debate, I think it depends on what your outlook is as a chess player. If you want to be a heavy theoretician, you play like sharp stuff and use your sharp theory or whatever, but I don't want to spend all my time learning about sharp variations of, say, the Sicilian. I think a lot of people like their pet lines anyway and stuff. So e3, yeah, it seems totally like maybe passive and innocuous. Maybe that's why it's not all the rage at the moment. But anyway, all right. Unless you guys on the chat here, I don't know, want to say something, I could do a Q&A. Have any of you ever on the chat thought of playing 1e3? Is there anything fundamentally I'm missing about it? I think it's better than 1b3 in many respects. Because if you think about it, 1b3 is like reverse Owens, which isn't as good as like a French defense, right? e3 is passive and innocuous. Shellingford FM. Yeah. But no, actually I found it aggressive. No, I've got an aggressive intent. My aggressive intention is to put a knight later on e5, and as Tartakower says, a knight on e5 and the attack plays itself. That's my aggressive intent. I have the idea of potentially constructing a stone wall. So stone wall, you've got pawns on c3, d4, e3 and f4. So you can potentially play for d4, knight f3, knight e5, f4. Yeah? So you potentially got a stone wall construction with e3. You've definitely got dark square grip building up. Yeah? So same with b3. b3 you've got some dark square grip building up, but you have potentially with e3, If you continue d4, knight f3. Alright, let's see. So bishop h6 and then queen h6 and knight g5 here looks dangerous. He's parried that. What's going on here if I play this? Is this crazy? Why isn't f5 weak in this position? He's put his king there, pin pawn. Someone says Kerry, I can use it against Anna and he won that game easily. e3. Sprother's played e3 against the computer in 1994, 1995. Yeah, I don't know. You can play... For me, actually, it's important in blitz chess, I'm talking about in blitz chess, to have that feeling of positivity. So if playing something slightly offbeat gives you a feeling of positivity, I'm not sure that should be totally ruled out just because it's not like trendy. Yeah, because the trendy stuff, by definition, everyone's analysing it. Yeah, so how can you have this feeling of positivity if you say play a trendy line which the opponent knows all about? Have I just blundered a pawn here in the game? I need to watch out for FG. My knight's stranded. Crikey, what the heck am I doing? Before he plays FG, can I play G5? That's blocking everything up. Is it time to take on F5? Okay, at the moment I can double rooks because I think bishop G6 now. So what about H4, H5? He can never play this because of bishop G6, right? H4, H5, is that naughty? HG, is that very, very naughty? I'm weakening my king in the process. Slightly, but my bishops are pointing at his king. The rooks are pointing at F7. This battery's pointing at G6. H5 looks like a dangerous threat. That has some substance, I think, H5, to undermine this pawn chain. Surely, surely. Now the thing is, I'm looking at stuff like taking knight g5. Yeah, maybe that's simple and strong. If he takes, he heals my king. Rook takes f5. I might have e6 after. So I'm going to go for, I believe, this. So it blocks the g file. I'm going to get my piece back with some interest here. Surely. Or have I totally being ridiculous about this position? Now there is bishop takes d7 or e6. Now e6, knight f6, there's bishop g5, but there's rook g8. What about bishop takes d7 if he takes... Well, I got queen g6 after. Now queen g6 might be a dangerous thing because I'm invading near his king. And even though I've only got queen and bishop, I think it looks dangerous. I'm stopping queen f7 with that move. I just want to play bishop g5, bishop f6. Oh no, my king's exposed. Has he got perpetual check? What about this way? Okay, overhead safety. I want to play to take this g pawn or queen this pawn. It doesn't matter about this. I'm queening this pawn or taking on g5 to bring the bishop into the attack. If he's let my king go to a safe place. Thanks, Zoe. I'm gonna make this the theme of this week. E3 with white. So prove something, if possible. Maybe that opening theory has been overhyped. Mass brainwashing about opening theory. I think you can reach, if you just want a simple dart square grip with central control. What's wrong with this position? I think Mir Sultan Khan played this kind of stuff, and he won the British Championship at least 2 times, playing this kind of solid start. All it is, we're starting with a dart square grip here. Okay, it's leaving the bishop at home. That can sometimes fianchetto. This looks like a fairly... I can only describe it as a fairly solid position. It's not my crazy stuff, as usual. Like, I can do that another week. Yes, I've ordered a new pair of slippers. Okay, is this the sort of thing you play when you get over 40? Okay, I'm just wondering. I don't know, I just like E3 at the moment. Maybe I don't know. I don't know, it just seems to be quite solid. I don't know. Oh, no, I'm too boring now. I'm too boring. Is it too boring? Okay, tell me if it's too boring there on the chat. If 1 boring, 10 exciting. And I could abandon this in other games. Okay. I'm being boring, aren't I? Sorry. It looks good though. Look, if I exchange off the dark square bishops here, he's got weaknesses on d6 and f6, hasn't he? So I've done some damage here because I've caused him to do a fianchetto, being all sophisticated, and he's weakened the dark squares around this king. Yeah? Haven't I? d6 is a sitting duck on the d file. And he's got dark square weaknesses creeping up here. And all I've done is play this boring system. You see, Petrosian had a point. You see? Petrosian had a great point. Yeah? You don't have to take risks all the time. He didn't like losing. So, you know, the way he played French defences was much more cautious than the way most people play the French defence. I answered this question on Quora this week about Petrosian and the French defence, actually. And I found lots of games where he first exchanged off his queenside bishop to remove any potential dangers, even against Mikhail Tal. There were no potential dangers ever. And, yeah, he didn't like losing, yeah? So he often castled queenside and played for g5 later. Petrosian in the French defence. He knew what he was doing. The French defence is a solid thing, yeah? So why not play it in reverse? Why didn't I consider Queen D2? Isn't that just like winning a piece, Queen D2? Because what does he do with this knight? He can't move the knight. Trebling on the d file, this seems brutal. That's a brutal self-pin. Self-pin. That's the subject. I played against the WGM and she was a rook up. I managed to lose both rooks. Actually, that was on my channel today. But in the same session, I went into a self-pin against IM a few games before that in the same morning session. If you go into a self-pin, I don't know what it is that you want to go into a self-pin. What causes someone... Okay, there's knight e5 here. Okay, he's resourcefully defended there. But there's knight e5, isn't there? The self-pin is something... I don't know, you do it when you're tired at self-pin. If you think somehow you're defending something and it's a self-pin, you know... It's like wanting to go into a losing position because it has some sort of... You think some sort of comforting thing that you're defending something. But yeah, I mean, it's lethal. Self-pins. Potentially. Alright, let's... I don't know what to do here. I mean, I'm a rook up. So, I mean, what's the most efficient way? Kill the counterplay? Deprive e4 first. e4, rook a8. Probably don't need to be too ingenious about this. e4, rook a8. Yes, okay. Bit of hassle. Although that bishop's trapped after taking if I play bishop d1. So I'll set the trap like predator. Setting a trap for predator. No, it's nearly trapped. Hang on. That bishop is escaping. What am I talking about? It's escaping to b1. Ah, okay. Alright, I'm going to play rook a8. The knight's not moving too quickly, is it? Yes, it is. Okay, go away. Not coming to f4. I don't want the hassle. I'm going to play bishop c2 soon, and then knight c1, and that's the end of that bishop. Alright, maybe not. Okay, the hassle continues. Okay, knight f4, what's the threats? Okay, thanks for the game, Fuxia. Disto. Now, in the end of last session, last week, he murdered me, and I did a post-mortem analysis, and I missed e4 at some point in the reverse Morris-Smith gambit, which I'm going to try and repeat, because I don't believe the way he played last week. I put it under engine scrutiny, and he allowed e4, chasing his knight on f3. Instead, I played something super dumb, this knight sack, which he didn't even accept. So we're going to have this reverse Morris-Smith gambit part 2 discussion, yeah? How would I play it here, the reverse Morris-Smith gambit? So he's going to be cautious castling kingside, yeah? Can I keep my bishop on this diagonal? He might play knight a4. I suppose I play the knight sack in the centre when I'm white in the Smith-Morra. But I have the idea that there's a downside to the way he's playing this. I noticed in post-mortem last week, yeah, which is e4, knight e5. If he's putting his queen there, well, let's see. I think there's a problem with the way he's playing this. Can I extract any revenge from last week? If he plays f3, he's weak in the diagonal. I'm thinking in reverse. It's very interesting to be able to think in reverse. This is like a reverse Smith-Morra gambit, where you don't mind weakening the diagonal when you play bishop g5 f6 as white. So I'm thinking in reverse. It is a useful skill, I think, from a theoretical point of view, to be able to think in reverse. Usually I bring my rooks to the centre. Rook c8, rook d8 is the standard sort of stuff. I keep a hold at f7. I don't think he's got any significant threats at the moment. But he has a nasty habit of springing out of positions I thought were passive. Disto, which is to his great credit. Very resourceful, resilient. Okay, but rook c8, rook d8, bishop a7, b4. I don't want to create too many weaknesses. Okay, he's got an e4 grip. This is a loose piece, right? So I'm going to make him fill that loose piece, I hope. He's got e4 grip. d3 is slightly vulnerable, yeah? I'll play for bishop d3. You can play knight e4. The question is, what do I do about knight e4? That would seem a sensible blockade move. Alabtrosian, knight e4, what do I do? Now that way is interesting. I might have h5 here, h4, h3, disruption, if nothing else, with h4, h3. If he used this knight, there wouldn't be this tempo gaining stuff. If I have double pawns here, it might be handy to blockade the diagonal and to be able to play f5. Now knight e4, f5. What does he do? Haven't I got f4 coming up? If he repeats, I've got rook d2 and bishop e3. So if he goes knight e4, I've got the evil Or maybe bishop e4 first, rook d2, bishop e3. Naughty. Ah! No, he's just won an exchange again. I managed to lose an exchange again. I've missed that move. Oh, this is pathetic. Okay, rook d2. Please miss rook d2. Please let me play rook d2. Oh, please let rook d2 be good. Please. I need this to be good. I need this to be good. So if he takes bishop e3, I can take on e3 with check. He's threatening bishop g6, right? I can take this with check and then bishop takes e4 after. And then rook takes b2. So he hasn't got too much, I hope. There's rook c2 here. Oh no, he takes the bishop. Bishop d3 might be good. Let's see. Bishop d3 looks pretty convincing. As convincing goes, bishop d3 looks a tempo gain. As in the famous site, chess tempo. Okay, so bishop d3, tempo gain. Hasn't got anything super clever, is it? Let me just think. It seems pretty logical. I can take a rook. I think I should be content to be a piece up, right? Whatever this is. I don't think there's anything much to think about. My stomach growling feels otherwise about the position. Okay, knight d4. What's the worry? As Alfred, queen d4. Let's not bring in Alfred E. Newman just yet. King g7. Let's make things safe. Get out of pins. Get out of potential pins. Get out of loose pieces. Get out of any tactical vulnerabilities, generally. Fix the pawns. My king could be unsafe. I'm going for a tempo here. Like g3. Maybe e4. Try and break his king side with e4 before he mates me or something. So I take here to try and break this king side pawn chain. Top priority of an attacking player. Destroy the king side. There's no queen d8 yet. If I take, he's got queen b2. I'm wondering about queen g5, queen b2. What about just e3? Is that not good enough before I lose on time? Okay, my stomach. Now, stomach, look, we've won the game. We've won the game. Stop growling at me. Okay. sorry. Okay. Okay, yeah, okay, fine. Okay. Sorry, I don't know. Is this? I'm into this. I think this was the wrong yogurt before this stream. Summer berries. Quaker, if they want to sponsor me for growling 5-minute games. Oh dear, oh dear. I better not have any more of it. Kramnik student. Jeez. Okay, yeah, Kramnik student. French defense, you see, I can use my theory from white and black point of view. With knight c6, I can play knight c6 in reverse even one day. This is a crap position now, isn't it? If I block up for a moment, try and play it like Petrosian would. So something like b6, tortuous maneuvers, bishop b7, knight coming back at some point to support g5. It's going to take millions of years to do this, but it might be worth it. A knight on h7 supports g5. A little bit of trivia there, which could come in handy here. Okay, let's get rid of these light square bishops to try and get the sense of security that Petrosian would have with black. Get rid of the light square bishops. Except e6 could fall off. Oh no. Oh no. What have I done? Hold on. Let's kick this guy back. Exchange off the light square bishops. Uh-oh. Hang on. I can't do this. I can't do this. There's queen h5. I can now. Okay. Is h6 possible here? And then g6. And he takes on e6. I don't know. This is a bit dodgy. I can blockade on e6 later, I hope, with a knight. Oh, crikey. Crikey. Didn't expect this. Queen h4. Is that any handy? Bishop a6. Get rid of his venomous bishop with bishop a6. If I castle queenside now. Right. I'll get out the fork in advance. There's knight g6, isn't there? Well, let's protect this a6. That sneaky little queen move. I put my bishop on f6. And now, play for c5. Is it worth playing? I'll get rid of this knight, actually. Then play for c5. Doesn't look so bad. If cd, bishop d4, queen f4. If he takes with the c pawn, maybe I can get my rook to c4. Or use b4 square. Either way, cd surely is causing some issues here. So queen f4 as mentioned. Bishop f. Uh-oh. Should have factored that one in. Muppets. He's going to tear my king to shreds. Let's get rid of the queens. Yes. There's takes and d4 check. Takes and queen b4. No, takes queen c3 d4. Take, king takes, queen b4. King c2, rook c1, king d1. Do I need to get involved in this? Why do I need to get involved in this? Because it might be dangerous for my king. I'm just wondering. It's a free shot at his king if I can get this working. Takes d4. I don't think he's got a check there. So he takes with the king. Queen b4, king c2, rook c8. King here. Don't I just take his rook after? It's given enough. Analyze all this rubbish. Let's just play it. No, I wouldn't take his rook after. What am I talking about? Takes, check. I haven't got the bishop on the board. Okay, this is a total miscalculation. But anyway, check. Check. And then panic. King's on the c file. Check. Well, there's d4 there. To blunt the bishop. It looks vaguely dangerous for his king. I just don't want him using the b file after the exchange of queens. That's a bit radical. But I just felt maybe my king was unsafe if I just simply exchanged off queens. Right here I thought d4 was okay. No? More than okay. This is the easier variation he's given me. Surely I'm just shredding him here. This is just looks shredding. There's no check here, right? I was more worried about the king walk. Yeah. Potentially he could have got his king around to d2 maybe, and then rook b1 after renewed activities on the b file. This looks as though my rook's just crashing down. Oh, he's on b6. I've got to run this with tempo. There's a queen h1 as a tempo. This has got to be run with tempo. Queen g2 wins the queen. King c1, there's rook c8. That looks pretty crushing. Well, there's queen takes h1 on king c1 or d1. On king e2, there's queen g2 winning the queen. King e1, yeah, I think it's well over. I think it's over. And that was it. Fortunately for me. Alright, thanks, Kremlin student. Harry. Loads of money. Harry Enfield. Harry's shocked, you see, by e3. He's so frightened. He's decided to leave the server. You see the fear that e3 causes, theoretically. Let's go. Thanks, graphic student. Thanks. Sorry, I'm just in a funny mood today. Okay, let me see. Is abort an option then? Shall I abort? Abort. Any non-premier I should decline in advance, because otherwise I never. Non-premier, you can't challenge me, I'm afraid. Please join up as a full member of Chess 24. You know it's worth it. Now you might wonder why I play this. It's because it's an easy plan, as you might have seen on previous week's episodes, where I played d6, h6, knight g7, castle, later f5, maybe knight g6 later, you know, that sort of thing. It just seems to be an easy plan to play for Blitz. See, I'm keeping my f pawn available by not blocking it. It's available for action. So h6, king h7, I can unpin that little f pawn and then play it to f5. I should maybe have considered stopping. Oh, okay, this is a little bit of hassle. Yeah, I can see that's hassle now. He's interrupting the center, and also my h6 is vulnerable. So if I play d6, he's got taking, and if I take, I don't want the queens off. And if I take like this, takes. If I take like this, he takes h6. So this is the issue. Maybe I can get away with it with this. If he wants to close the center, I'd welcome that. If he wants to take here, maybe it's not so bad because my king's holding h6 now. So taking is not on h6, right? Oh, no, he's got d6. D6 might be a pain. Oh, I should have played d6 earlier. Why didn't I play d6 earlier instead of that silly h6? Alright, I think he should have played d6. It would have been disruptive. Don't follow the move order if your life depends on it. If you're playing for planet Earth against an alien race, yeah, and you play this opening, remember to play d6, yeah? With black, because that d6 I think would have done a lot of damage. It would have done a lot of dislocation, you know, of my position. Now I'm getting the full, what I think is more of the effectiveness of this pawn storm without hassle in the center. If the center is locked down, you can afford the pawn storms on the flanks. In military terms, it's more possible to do that without counterattack in the center. So knight g6, e4 and f4. Now if he plays knight d4, f4, and he has to worry about the knight, doesn't he? Okay, e6 is a concern for sure. But I'm thinking that, yeah, I'm squishing him. That's what I'm thinking. I'm squishing him. Except e4 is weak. f3 might be, and bishop h3 and queen g5 might be simple and strong though. Just to try and bust his king side with bishop h3 and queen g5. There's also knight f4 here, so forget about e4 for a moment. That can be just taken as a positional sacrifice to gain time for what I want to do here, which is blast open his king side. So let's see. G takes. I win a piece here, don't I? Now if he goes queen e4, I take the rook. I just win a piece here. Okay, it's for 2 pawns, and he does take the e4 pawn. Not to be underestimated, the pawns, I guess. I'll take the rook here. Well, rook f7 kind of wins that bishop as well, doesn't it? As long as it doesn't get mated on g7, this should be winning the bishop as well. So the question remains about knight f6. I think I just played king h8. Alright, thanks. Cole. Do I dare play the French defence as a pre-move? It's a very risky decision, I know. Do I pre-move with e6? I'm going to take that risk. I'm going to take that risk today. Yes, I know. I'm a risk taker. e6. I've ordered new slippers from Amazon just earlier because I've wrecked my old ones. Yeah. I thought there was a slight risk of damage to my feet. Yeah, so yeah, I'm such a risk taker nowadays. Okay. Okay, I got Dunlop. Yeah, I don't know if you're interested. Dunlop, they do slippers, believe it or not. Yeah, they used to do tires. I think they've diversified. Okay, so anyway, let's see. Do I bought this? Okay, I'm aborting this. Let's go on. Iron Manth. I think, did I mention, I think there's this tick box when you challenge. You've got to tick this box to open the game up or something. By the way, I managed to have technical problems on another stream somewhere on Friday, and I worked out it was the Windows update installing itself, the creators update, yeah? In case you're wondering why your machine is slow and you've lost a load of bullet games recently, yeah, it's the Windows creators update downloading on your machine, yeah? It seems Microsoft only care about web surfers, not streamers or players online, gamers. Because, I don't know, there was no notice given. Yeah? That it's going to be downloading this 3 pieces for the Queen, yeah? I get a 3 piece for the Queen scenario, which is a lot of fun, yeah? I don't know if it's sound, it's a lot of fun. 3, 6, 9. Queen sometimes is given as 9 or 10. Maybe it's a stupid idea, but it could make for a bit of entertainment. I'm losing a pawn as well, but on the upside, there's also, I'm weakening some dark squares here because I've got rid of his fianchettoed bishop here. So is this that bad? I mean, is it that bad? I can even castle if I want. I'll take the knight. How bad is this? So yeah, thank you Windows Creators Update, yeah. Okay, let's see. This could be troublesome for me. The problem, as I've mentioned, is coordinating 3 pieces against the Queen. It's a coordination issue that emerges, even if you've technically got what you think is material parity. Now with closing the centre, I can wriggle my bishop to g3 here, surely. If I wriggle my bishop to g3, isn't that going to be tickling his dark squares quite a lot? I suppose you can go into attack my pawn. That seems pedantic. I can put my knight on f4 later. I'll put the brakes on this stuff for a moment. Maybe h3 and bishop g4 to provide f5, which will give me bishop e5 later. Okay. And if I double the rooks here, I don't want to have a conversation on the c file. I think I want to double the rooks for a moment and stick the knight on f4, right, and fix his pawns here and put my bishop on e5, my knight on f4. He's just eliminated it. Okay, he hasn't got rook c7, right? And I got g4 for bishop g4. Is that weakening my king too much? Fascinating. He's going for a3 to try and win with pawns, right? If I played something like g4 and h5 there and takes, I'll be threatening bishop e6. So by the time he wins a3, I've got his rook. So basically, I'm trying to blast his pawn chain to smithereens with this move g4. So I'm thinking if he goes for a3, let's see, h takes, takes. If he goes for a3, h5 takes, hg, followed by bishop f5. I've got 2 bishops and 2 rooks gunning for his king there. Now if he plays like this, h5 takes, rook f5, rook h7, rook f8. If we have this scenario, I'm going to take this. And he's got rook h7. I can afford h5, right? Because it takes rook f7. He's threatening like rook f8, rook h8 mate. The bishop, extra bishop should be enough. But can I actually just retreat my bishop as well? Might be more entertaining to retreat the bishop. There's rook g2, rook g5, h5 to try and undermine f5. Yeah, rook g5, h5. Okay. So the queenside onslaught. But h5 is coming, yeah? c3 is an issue, but I'm going to win a rook there with hg if he's not careful. Mind you, he takes a rook here with queen e3. Well, I think I win the rook with tempo. If he takes like this. Rook takes. So if he takes, I'm winning his queen. When does he move his rook? If he moves his rook, I can play the check and take the queen. I can also just, I think there's a forced checkmate here with taking and check. If he went there, check, and it looks pretty dangerous winning the queen anyway. Thanks, Iron okay. Showing forward. Alright. He cast doubt on e3 and I have to punish him. This FM has to be punished for the insolence. Just joke. I'm just joking. Oh dear. He's 2659. That's, I mean, he's got that racing for a reason. Now we just transposed into a Slav variation, right? Which I think is okay, because actually I haven't got a Greek gift here, have I? No. I don't need to play anything too stupid, do I? I'm just checking. Knight g5, queen h5, knight f6. I'm going to just play the position normally, as if I was the same person. Okay, so let's just avoid any stupid sacrifice for a moment. And just try and keep a bind on the e5. I'll take away from the centre. Or d5. Oh, that's fascinating. It looks logical to pin that. I don't know. Alright, if I take away from the centre here. I got a 3-2 pawn majority. Tactically, maybe knight e5 for something naughty later. Knight e5 here, or rook d1 first. Maybe rook d1 first. Knight e5 looks... There's bishop g3 here. Knight e5 stops queen c6 though. I want to put battery on g2. Maybe I can... Can I think about a rook switch? Not really. Can I harass the queen with this? Is there something like potentially knight f7 or knight g6? Alright, this bishop can't do anything naughty at the moment. Can it? He's just content to exchange everything off, isn't he? I'm just wondering about this knight f7 coming up again. If I play rook e1, have I got knight f7? His queen's way over there. This is the pawn chain, there is king. f7. Try and double the pawns. Alright, let's see, what is he doing here? Maybe bishop b1, queen c2, bishop h4. Crude, but there's a threat of bishop f6, queen h7. Oh, he's doubling my pawns. Okay, so now that then. Maybe it's a bad decision. He's removing his own defensive knight. He plays f5 after. 5 is a fixed weakness on e6. g6 is with knight g6. So what is he doing now about queen c2? Oh, nothing much. Okay. Can I try and double the pawns again? I might have a point. Yeah, if my queen goes there, it's not doing anything. It just chases his king to e7. So what? Do I want the knight on somewhere? h4, I guess, yeah. I think there's bishop e4 to queen c6. I think there's g3. Oh, I think I'll play the check. Okay, not much. Is it bishop e4? Oh. Well played, yeah. Okay. No, he proved that dark square bishop was a menace. I thought it might have had something, but yeah, it was good on the dark squares. That was instructive. Oh, unfortunately for me, instructive for everyone else. I think the dark square bishop was really emphasised. Well, unfortunately, I have to say. Yeah, so probably if I had a chance to preserve my dark square bishop, in retrospect, I should have done probably. Okay. This looks interesting. F4 and castle. I'll stop b5. So F4 and castle, and maybe rook f3 or something. Oh, hang on. This looks like an interesting attacking stonewall type position. No, actually, if he took and moved the knight, I'd take on d5 here. Alright, okay. I'll still play this. I'm wondering, taking knight e4, take rook g3. I've got bishop a3 after that, so I don't think it's that bad, that position. If he gives up the dark square bishop, I'm going to take this diagonal. I'm stopping bishop g4 in advance anyway, in the variations. So I just want this diagonal, I think. Also queen h5 looks fun. So bishop a3 and queen h5. Okay, maybe, yeah, why not? This c4 looks vulnerable as well. Does he play bishop e6? Maybe I've got rook f1 and f5. Plays bishop d5 after that. Maybe rook f4, h4. Alright, so we'll go with this. For f5, bishop d5, rook f4. I think that knight's quite good on e5 here. So I want to play f5 and rook f4. Do I? Probably. Play bishop b4 to stop this stuff for a moment. What about h4, h5, h6? That looks dangerous. Gives my king some air. He plays h6 after. Okay. I've just spotted an idea of rook g4 which he's extinguished. Nevertheless, rook h5, I can still sack the exchange here, which might be good because it breaks down the blockade of the position, I think, to some extent. Also, my bishop is stopping the exit route. So let's see. Actually, I was worried about rook a2 there. My queen, he would have a draw, wouldn't he? Rook a2, rook a1. Nevertheless, okay. This looks fine now compared to that. Is there f6 in this? Oh, hang on. f6, he's covering g4. Now there's queen f7 here, surely. That kind of weakness of the last move. I can win this rook with check, even better than taking the rook. Win it with check. Win bishop. I can threaten mate with knight g6, queen h8. If king h6, queen h8 is mating, that gives no time for any naughty business if I just play knight g6. Oh, there's bishop f5. There's rook f5 still with rook h5 as a mate threat. Run with this. Queen h8. I think he had rook a2. Yeah, I think when I did that thing, he had rook a2. But anyway, let's see. Alright, thanks for the game, Eric. Amando. So I'm playing this kind of King's Indian start position. It's sort of English versus King's Indian. Now he's keeping it as a distinctive English opening at the moment. Now it sort of feels as though it's transposing into a King's Indian fianchetto variation. Yeah, it looks like if the queens came off, does it matter? Just wondering this could help me, because it looks as though I would have things like f5 and e4 opening this bishop, and also then bishop e6. The bishops would be pretty good. Okay, what about taking the knight b4? He's got e4. Bishop e6, if e4, knight d4. Okay, maybe this is better. Just to put knight d4, get a pawn on d4. Yeah. Okay, I'll get this knight d4. Means now I can kick the knight. Have this, well, a certain amount of pressure with the two bishops here on the queen side. So c6, knight takes, queen takes. That was knight c7 dangerous. Might be actually. Maybe I should play rook c8. So c6, knight takes, queen takes. He does something about c4. And then what? I think that position's quite happy for black. Let's see. Knight takes, queen takes. c4's hanging. b3. Alright, I can protect b7 here with the queen. Also, I think b5 is sort of self-pin scenario. I think that's b5 here. That's imminent danger for white here. b5. Is it not? b5. I don't know what else I'm doing here. Alright, here's address that. Queen b4, b3 or something. Queen c5 looks handy in some respects. b3, a5, just to keep a grip on the dark squares. Okay. Now what? He's pretty solid. He's blockading the passed pawn in the position. maybe okay, let this pawn protect that one. F5, F4, F5. Alright, B4 there's always Queen C4. What about F5 here? Try and lift the blockade. Nimzovich argued the Queen is a bad blockader. Let's get out of this diagonal. Maybe G5, F4. If G5 takes Bishop E4, it keeps the blockade. He's left a pawn hanging here and trying for B4. Weakness of the last move. I'll take that opportunity. The problem I have with the position is basically, if he didn't blunder that pawn, that G5 looks a bit dodgy because he takes and Bishop E4 with a light square blockade. I could overcome that if I had a rook here, I think, then G5 and F4 becomes possible. So takes, there's no Bishop E4. Okay, so rook E8, G5, F4. I mean, that's the plan. Rook E8, G5. So if he takes, Bishop takes. B4, again, I've got Queen C4. So let's go with this G5, F4. Okay, might be threatening B4 now. Okay. If I just take this in Bishop F5. I'm sort of unblockaded. Let's lock down this. B4. Rook on the 7th. Okay, thanks, Amanda. Positional stuff. Ah, an even higher rated FM. Oh my word. The FMs are coming to kill me today. They're coming to assassinate me. $28.30. Wow. Alright, what can I play against this? I can play this nonsense. H4, couldn't I? Just to add an attacking spin on it. Alright, so knight E5 might be something, I hope. I'm hoping I have some pressure points here. Do I? Maybe. I'm guessing there might be something. I'm hoping there's a pressure point on F7. Is there? I think if he takes the knight D7, isn't it like F4? He's got knight C5. This might not be entirely clever. This knight E5. D1's vulnerable. Right. That looks... Takes Bishop D2, Bishop E5, Queen B7, Rook B8, Queen E4. Don't know. Maybe. Anything more promising than that? I can't think of anything at the moment, so I'll go with this. It looks pretty dumb actually, because I'm going to cancel that, but I can't cancel anyway. Alright, let's take the pawn back then. I'm threatening to win a bishop, right? I might know there's bishop b2. There's on my king here. Okay, there's queen d3 or queen d5. Oh, he's got rook d2 winning a piece. Bishop d3's got rook d2. Oh, I've got king takes d2 there. Maybe that's worth a punt. King takes to protect the rook. Oh, he's got bishop f5, queen e5. I'm on the rook here. So bishop f5, queen e5, queen d3, queen b2, rook d2, king takes. Oh, maybe there's something here. I'm hoping. Maybe he just takes. Bishop f5 is the problem. Can I play queen d5 just to address bishop f5, just out of interest? So I'm wondering, rook d2, king takes to protect the rook. Alright, try and stay in the game for a bit longer, if possible. Is rook c1? There's rook d8. I'm getting in all sorts of nasty tactical issues here. Can't castle. Yeah, rook d8 coming up. It's looking nasty. Alright, can I do this for queen c4? Out of interest. So rook d8, queen c4. Try and hold on to this. This is looking awkward. Bishop f5. Like, I haven't got an answer to bishop f5. That was brutal. Yeah, I haven't got an answer to bishop f5. I don't think I've got an answer. My king's not safe. Everything's hanging. Alright, yeah. Okay. Alright. Just one more game, and I think I'm going to go now. Make this the last game. Hope you enjoyed today. Okay. Let's see. Is c5 possible? So bishop d3, queen c2, or h3 to stop bishop g4. Yeah, let's do a quick poll then. If anyway, 1 fun, 10 boring today. Quick poll in this last game. While playing this last game, if you wanna vote. Masochism. Sorry, yeah, no, that's good. Good fun. Yeah, yeah. So bishop h2, rook b1. I'm wondering if it's not hanging rook, yeah, I can play rook b1, queen b2. If b6, maybe bishop takes, c takes is dangerous. I'm going to wreck this pawn chain around this king, I think. Mind you, there's always knight a5, maybe queen b5. Alright, so I'm looking forward to queen b2 here, I think. So b6, bishop takes, take. Okay, let's have a look. Ah, now c6 takes, check. Doesn't seem to do much. Well, there's queen c7 there. So it does. I think it does. If it, yeah, that's queen a3 now. Or knight c6. I think queen b5 though for queen a6. It's starting to look a little bit dangerous. Because if king b8, I think there's rook b6 there because there's pin on c7. So queen a6. There's a pin and win. Yeah, I think that's mating. No, wait. I haven't got b1 here, so I can't get the other rook in. Just before I sacrifice a rook, let's think about this. Gonna nudge his queen away from b1, yeah? How do I do that? A seemingly ridiculous move g4 comes to mind. So let's imagine queen takes f3. Rook takes. Now if king here, there's queen c8 checkmate. Actually, that weakness of the last move there in that variation. If he takes check here, check, and rook b1, I'm sure that's mating. Say he goes here, there might be knight g5. He can't go to d3. If he goes to c2, would he really go to c2? On the event of queen c2, I think rook takes this position. I play bishop c7, and I'm threatening actually queen a8. Oh, queen a6, mate. And if he takes here, takes. Now, given I've analysed all this, I'll play it, yeah? Let's think about this again. Actually, I just had a thought. No, hang on. Bishop c7 is rook c7. It doesn't have to play king takes. Okay. The other thought is queen e4 or queen c2 if he wants to bypass this. Well, now he's just given me this rook b6 without the defensive resource. This looks like cool because of Rook B1 now. There's not too many candidate moves. In fact, there's only one legal move here, right? Isn't there? There's only one legal move here, right? Alright, thanks, Kaz. Okay, I hope you found that fun. Remember to like the video on the Kingscrusher channel and the Chess24 video. So the video goes to 2 channels. Remember that. That'd be cool if you like it. And oh, by the way, I've been on Quora this week. Trifon Gabriel, I'm going to check out for my answers. I'm having fun on Quora this week. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, so check out Quora.com. Quora. If you, yeah, I think the chess section's evolving there. Anyway, so cheers then. See you next week then. Thanks.